Yeah, one of the things, that we look at now, and it's kind of one of the trends that come out, and, we all know the Liver King kind of exposes himself. And so, and I guess I was curious what your thoughts were. And like in the gym that I work out at, it seemed to me, and maybe this is my anecdotal study only, but it seemed that once there's some momentum behind people being very open now about what they're using as far as performance enhancing drugs is. And do you think it's like, what do you think is the impact of these well-known athletes, coming out and saying, yep, I'm doing it? Like, is it a positive as in we're exposing what's, the reality of what's really happening, or is it a negative that we're possibly encouraging people to, do stuff that they thought maybe they didn't have to do at some point? Or like, where do you see it going now that people are more open about what's going on?
I do look at it as a positive light. I think it's, what you see on Instagram is not always what you get. And, there's a lot of fake stuff out there. Mm-hmm. Everything from the Photoshop photos to, the claim of a natural athlete, mm-hmm. And, I think it's creating more of an understanding that some of these levels that these physiques are being taken to, and these people are where they're taking their physique to, that a lot of the time that, these transformations become unrealistic to the average natural athlete versus someone who's using enhancements and tripling their progress. So, people are maybe they're deterred from saying, well, something's wrong with my coach. He's not getting me to where I need to be.
I saw this picture on Instagram.
Yeah, they did it. They did it in 3 months. I put on 60 pounds of muscle, and I went to the O2 gym overseas, and here I am, right? Yeah. But I think that it's just opening up a lot of the doors for people to be open and honest, and I think it's creating again a positive atmosphere where it's setting the idea that is it possible to have these wild transformations? Yes, but this is what I did to get there. Yeah. Now, it's not going to, those the steroid use is not going to be for everyone. I mean, for my athletes, it's always a personal choice. Yeah. I'll provide the direction if they're going that direction, mm-hmm. but if not, then we keep them as natural athletes. Yeah. But they have to also be aware that what the progression of them is going to be versus an enhanced athlete. Right. And I think one of the biggest struggles that I have with a natural athlete versus an enhanced athlete, or I shouldn't even say the differences, but that natural athlete will sit at home and watch Instagram and compare themselves to the best of the best. Right. And generally compare themselves to an enhanced athlete and saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, but I'm not taking anything. Yeah. And so these levels of these physiques are showing up at the Olympia level and things like that. Yeah. These pro show levels and the people who are winning their pro cards. Not to say that they're all on anything, but a majority are. Sure. And but I think it's creating a little bit of a false expectation to that natural athlete and kind of brings them down a little bit, saying, why am I not like that? Yeah. I think the challenge that I experience with it is that everything you see on any social media is, how do you get bigger? Like, what's the, how do I get bigger biceps, legs, whatever the case is. And then they lay out a program. And then even in the studies, which is shocking, you see, like a lot of the evidence-based guys, they're saying, okay, well, all you got to do is just change the angle of your elbows and suddenly you're going to get bigger. And all the studies are clearly showing this progression that you can just automatically get by changing one exercise, and it's like, I don't know, I've been doing this an awful long time, and I don't think I'm doing this anymore. I think I'm maybe this and maybe this and maybe that. But it's not like, and I think it's a tough for natural people. Well, anybody. It doesn't matter if natural or not, because not everyone responds the same way to anything. Absolutely. So, that's a tough message. It's, everyone thinks they're just going to get bigger. Every time you walk in the gym, you walk out a little bit bigger. No.
It's not the case at all.
No, you're right. There's nothing linear about this. You know, we're going to have our ups and downs and our valleys and our peaks. And, you know, the thing is, what we want to look at is the longer term, right? Yeah. And, you know, I think everyone wants that result yesterday. Yeah. No one's willing to say, okay, how good can I be in 2 years? Yeah. And if you were to kind of track your progress over the course of 1 week and watch that linear, watch that line and seeing it might be linear that week. Yeah, because that's only 1 week out of 2 years. Yeah. But now if we watch and we see that, we graph that and we see your progression over the course of 2 years, what that actually looks like, you know. Again, people are to have this expectation to go win and place first in their first show and win the win the pro card the first time. Yep. It took me 6 shows to get to a provincial level within BCBA. And back then we all had some screws loose. Yeah, you know, the competitors back then were the guys that are just the anomalies in the gym. You know, no one competed. Yeah. It was small. Right. And you know what it did though is it made these shows extremely tough because even at an amateur level, it was real hard. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, you know, it's kind of opened up to be more of the fad idea, right? And my friend did it, so I want to do it. Right. And you know, I want to commit. I want to be the Instagram star, and you know. And then the other people who are like, you know, like those real strong competitive athletes. I want to see what I'm made out of. I want to get up there. I want to see. I want to win. I'm going to do what it takes.